Hari Om, Namaste. Let us talk about being mindful. Mindfulness or being mindful is a state of mental calmness. It is often achieved by focusing your awareness at the present moment, just right in the now. By accepting any thoughts, by accepting any feelings, where there is no confusion and where we are able to handle all our senses, the outcomes of the senses. We are at the moment living at a very extraordinary time, a very challenging time. It's very challenging for everyone and everything. But how can we cope up? How can we be mindful? That's only possible when we accept the challenge. All our neurosciences, physics, modern physiology, the scientists, the mathematicians, everyone come around saying, they're shedding new light to the capacity of our brain, which mostly was not aware about. People were not aware about the capacity of the mind that we have. We have the capacity to keep the mind calm, let the mind get into new patterns of thinking, establish more and more compassion, be more kind, be more soft, because that is what is good health. That is what brings health and good heart and good health in one's body. That is how we turn our life into a very meaningful and very spiritual, fulfilling life by living in the now, by living in the present moment, which is called as mindfulness, living in mindfulness. Though it seems difficult, why it seems difficult? Because we have not practiced it. We have not tried to live through it, because we have accepted the chaos of the mind to be very normal. Even before these, this tough, challenging days that we are going through at the moment now, even before that, where we were living a very ordinary life, even then, letting the mind to be normal or accepting with all the superpowers that it has, it was difficult for a person. Because somewhere the person liked all the confusions, the chaos, and that helpless feeling, because we never practiced on a day-to-day basis, regular basis, disciplining the mind. It was more so as prayer forms. So all our prayer forms have been designed to keep the mind in discipline, to bring in that mindfulness. But slowly everything, the purpose, the reason eroded. And it was just the shell of the practice left out, which became very monotonous, very ritualistic form of worship. So all forms of worship done externally is only the outer shell. It doesn't discipline the mind. You just go around and see all types of prayer forms or all types of ritualistic systems that we follow. Everything is basically designed to discipline the mind. Let's take meditation, let's take chanting, let's take prayer forms, let's take pilgrimage, going to temples. Everything is to enhance the capacity of the mind, to reduce the stress level of the mind. And when we regularly practice it and we create that discipline in the mind, all our stress levels significantly fall down. Then what is that the mind holds? The mind for sure holds only joy, satisfaction, and that is what is called being mindful. And being mindful, the first and the foremost is to ask the mind to remain still, quiet. The art of stillness, to remain quiet. Even while we are meditating, we are praying, we are doing chanting, japas, going to temples, you need to question, is your mind quiet? Even for a bit, sometime? If the mind is not quiet, then how will we experience the stillness? How will we practice and become the master of the mindfulness, how will we live a mindful life? What our modern neurosciences have to say about it? Even they say disciplining of the mind is very important. To harness the power of the mind is very important. Now, to harness the power of the mind, we need to rewire our capacity of the mind. Rewiring the capacity, again, comes only by stillness of the mind, by being punctual, by being disciplined, create a disciplined pattern in life. And every little organism in our body that we have been using so far, we use it for a very common purpose. Like, it's very common to worry, it's very common to get stressed, it is very common to get angry, it's very common to go into self-pity, and we have accepted that as our second nature. To get rid of all these, we find, it's a difficult task. But that's what the neurosciences have been saying, that we have not knocked those unknown enormous doors that are closed to harness the power of the mind. When we try that, then we will realize how close we are to blissful life, how close we are to the joy that we have been missing in life. Let's see, majority of people that we come across, what do they talk about? They talk about their sufferings. Either this weather is not right, or the money situation, the economic situation is not right, or the political situation is not right. And everywhere you see a bunch of people sitting together, they just talk about they suffer. Most importantly, the irony is that we do not even know why we are suffering. Are we actually suffering? We don't even know that, because we accept everything and we sympathize with suffering. So then that suffering becomes our reality. So what do we do now? Let's first make an exercise. Let's go inside, take a deep breath, go inside, and then distinguish, recognize what is your actual suffering. What all? Make a list of your suffering. And if you really, really feel that 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 or whatever number of sufferings that you're going through, accept them. These are my problems. I need solution for this. So what happens is, we are bundled with the layers of sufferings which are actually not suffering. Thereby, we are not knocking the right thing for us, for our right suffering, if at all we have something. There are second type of people who suffer on a personal basis, personal life, due to their temperaments or due to their personalities, but they deny the suffering. They deny, suppose somebody is, they lack something, they lack peace of mind, they lack, patience, or their personality is little, difficult. But then even that is enormous suffering. They deny that they are suffering. So let's recognize, are we actually suffering? Then make a list of what all sufferings are real in my life. Then only we can go into a solution to handle those sufferings. Now, let's become a bit curious. Let's accept and acknowledge all that element of suffering. What all sufferings are real in our lives. Let's not mask it out. What happens in day-to-day life, just for the sake of showing off, we mask our lives. We are wearing facial masks, several masks upon this face, and we become a different person just to appease the public or the society, which we are actually not. And that's not our strength, that's rather our weakness. And that is a major reason for being sad or being confused, or we are not mindful, because we are masking ourselves all the time and we are pushing away our real problems. We get distracted by what actually needs an answer in our life. if we are suffering, if we have problems, first of all, let us accept it. Then, let us deal with our problems, with our sufferings, kindly. Let's not be harsh. Let's not go to the world in an aggression just because I am suffering. So, if at all I have some sufferings, that doesn't make me become an aggressive person to others. That won't solve any problems. So let's go on honoring the suffering, and then automatically healing takes place. Honoring the suffering means, why am I in this place? Why am I going through this pain or painful situation or challenges in my life? So if I question myself, I'm sure the universe, 100% sure, the universe gets back to you. It answers you. And your body is a very complex organism in totality, but it's very intelligent. Every cell of your body is open to receive the message from that unknown. We have unique ability to bring in the answers, the keys to unlock the problems that we go through it. The keys are very much within us. Why is that we don't get the key? Just because we are not aware. So awareness is the key. Learn to be aware to become aware. Awareness is, yes, I'm aware now, but the next moment the brain goes somewhere and a person doesn't even know the brain is somewhere else. So it's awareness to become aware. It's a practice, discipline, everyday practice. It's something like to think about thinking. What is to think about thinking? Because most of the time the mind goes on thinking, which one is not aware what I'm thinking. I have no control about what I'm thinking. Then how can I master my own life? I'm not the master. So I need to think about my thinking. Where is my thinking going? I need to think about that. It's like, my brain power, we need to believe that the power of the brain has enormous capacity to create and to destroy. So the mind can go on creating and destroying the thoughts. So my mind can go on creating something, and at the same time it can go on destroying the thoughts also. So what is that needs to be destroyed and what is that needs to be created? That's what is important for us. That how do you get that? By being mindful. How do you become mindful? By being in stillness. Just calm, quiet, stillness within yourself. To be, this is easily, you achieve this bit easily if you are tuned to nature, if you're tuned to your own bodies, if you're tuned to nice music. So these are simple yet divine tools, divine ways to be aware about your own awareness, to be thinking about what you're thinking. So then you can realize things which are very clear to you becomes distorted because you're not aware. Before a thought becomes distorted thought, if you're aware, you will capture it right now. Let's not become zombies and go into autopilot mode. Autopilot mode is where we leave control and we say, well, I have no control about my own self. I have no control about my thoughts. Let's be more, smart with our brains. Let's understand what is a real suffering. Let's not be ignorant to our own demands and needs. Let's see the suffering clearly. Let's recognize that. Let's know what has caused it. And then only we will understand the possibility to deal with it. Let's strengthen our intentions to ease out our problems and sufferings. So this is the beginning of a journey of awareness. Now, what is being aware? Being awake is very important for your health, spirituality, for your brain, for your body. It keeps you positive, it keeps you joyful, and the more you love, the more you're compassionate, you heal fast. Then if you are clouded and distorted, then remember, you will be more sad, you will not be mindful, you will be more confused and upset. So recognize to be aware, discover to be aware. Freedom from suffering is completely in your hand. Nobody is forcing you to suffer. It's our illusion which makes us believe I'm suffering. So freedom from suffering is absolutely possible just by looking deep inside a situation. Resist the temptation which pushes you into, I am suffering. Rather say, detest that thought and have that faith. Freedom from suffering is very much possible. Life is full circle. It comes back to you by acceptance. So acceptance by itself is good health, which will ease the life. To attain this mindfulness, we go to religion or spirituality. Religion is what? And legion means reconnection. To whom are we getting reconnected? I cannot reconnect to somebody outside than me. So I'm reconnecting with my own self, with my own soul, with my own power. Same as spirituality. Ritual. Spirit and ritual. So the ritual of my own soul through chanting, meditation, disciplining the mind makes me more aware and connect to my own power which is hidden inside me. The more I bring in my inner hidden power, I become aware, I become still, and I live a complete life of mindfulness. Being mindful is your choice, is your health. That's your capacity and you can achieve it. God bless you until we meet again.